You're about to have an opportunity to watch the Lynn Marine Corps JROTC perform at Manning Field for a Veterans Day celebration and the Marine Corps birthday. We're lucky to have this opportunity here in the city of Lynn. I want to thank Mayor McGee, City Council President Darren Sear, the rest of the City Council, Community Development, and Michelle Desmarais from the Health Department, just making this happen. It would not have been possible just to make the idea that they wanted to make sure that veterans had an opportunity to be honored this year was foremost in everyone's mind, and I appreciate that. One person I want to thank in particular is Sergeant Major Oswald and his cadets. Every year, they do so much for this community. They really are some of the best that our city has to offer, and I want to say thank you. And I think you'll see that when you see this program. Most importantly, I want to thank our veterans. As an Afghanistan veteran myself, I know that it's difficult for a lot of us not to get together this year, but we know this is the next best thing. What we want you to do is go to facebook.com/LynnSwampscotVets, submit a picture of your loved ones so they can be honored in that way. Those of you who do get an opportunity to thank a veteran this year, please do, because by thanking veterans, those who have served, in a very real way, you're honoring those who are wearing the uniform today. Because as we speak, there are men and women right now in harm's way who are cold and hungry, who are risking their lives so that we might remain free. And this program is a great, great example of what it means to come together as a community to honor our veterans. So thank you very much, and thank you to Lynn Community Television for all their work and helping us put this together as well, and hope to see you soon.
Good morning. My name is Brendan Crichton, and I'm your state senator. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. First, I'd like to say thank you to Mike Sweeney and his Veterans Department for all of the service they provide throughout the year. And in particular, during times like these as we face a pandemic, they make sure that the crucial services and resources are available for our veterans. Thank you for all that you do, and also thank you for putting together this Veterans Day program today. While I'd love to be joining all of you together in person as we do every year, it's so important that we continue to honor our veterans, even if we do so remotely. Today is an opportunity for us to honor and thank all of our veterans, those who have passed, those who have served and came home, and those who have paid the ultimate sacrifices. Throughout the year, we enjoy all of our freedoms because of their service, and it is our duty on Veterans Day to give thanks. On many days, but in particular on Veterans Day, I think of my grandfather, of whom I'm named after. Brendy Crichton, as he was known, enlisted shortly after turning 18 in World War II in the Army. Upon returning home from his service with the Big Red 1 unit, he started a family, and last year would have been his 100th birthday. It's so important, and it so fills me with such pride to think of his service, but also the service of all of our veterans, and in particular those in the Lynn community, many of whom we've grown very close with over the years at these type of ceremonies. Thank you for all of your service. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts is committed to having the most robust program for our veterans, but the work doesn't stop. We need to continue to improve and to build on our progress to make sure that we are providing for those who have put their lives at risk time and time again to preserve our freedoms. Thank you to everyone again for putting on this program. Thank you to Mike Sweeney's Veterans Department, and thank you to all of our veterans. Please be safe.
Thank you all so much for coming together on Veterans Day, the day we set aside to honor those who have volunteered to serve our country. I hope you take some time today to reflect on the service of so many who put their lives on the line for our freedom. And think about the ways that you may be able to serve our country, our fellow Americans today. In fact, you have a lot of opportunities given the pandemic. Go shopping for an elderly neighbor. Give a call to someone who's stuck at home in quarantine and is lonely. Make time to write to relatives who love getting a letter and may miss you because it's been a long time since we've been able to get together. A lot of us will be feeling especially lonely over the coming holidays. Now, these ways to serve others frankly pale in comparison to what many veterans did for us. But it's a great opportunity to connect with what service means for everyone. I hope you'll also consider joining our Veterans Town Hall tonight at 7 p.m. on my Facebook page. It's not a political event. It's completely apolitical, bipartisan, It's an opportunity for veterans to simply share their stories of service overseas and how that service has impacted their lives here at home. It's actually really designed for people who are not veterans to get the opportunity to get to know veterans in their service. But whether you're a non-veteran or a veteran, please join us at 7 p.m. on my Facebook page. It will be an event you won't want to miss. Thanks so much, and happy Veterans Day.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2020 City of Lynn Virtual Veterans Day ceremony. Veterans Day is a time to show our gratitude and thanks to all those who have served our country and continue to serve our country. Today we pause to remember those and express our sincere appreciation and respect for those who protect us each day, and we honor those lives who in the past have given the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms in our country. Veterans are integral parts of our community, both as neighbors and friends, but just as importantly as family members. And we can't forget the family members that continue to support the veterans that currently serve, both while they're on active duty and also when they return home. They're there for them and continue to be there for them. We want to thank them for their service and for their commitment to help support those veterans that continue to support us around the world. I think it's important that we recognize the sacrifices our veterans make each and every day to ensure the freedoms that we take for granted sometimes in this country. And even though we're doing this virtually this year, and it's a different way to recognize Veterans Day, it's just as important that we don't forget, and that we never forget, the sacrifice and service of all of those who served in the armed services and continue to serve for us in the City of Lynn. I want to thank the Lynn Veterans Service Department for organizing this virtual event. And I also want to thank Sergeant Major Oswald and the Lynn English ROTC for being part of this ceremony. And as we recognize Veterans Day on November 11th, it's just as important to remember that on November 10th, it's the 244th anniversary of the creation of the Marine Corps. It's the Marine Corps birthday. My father, who served in the Marine Corps in World War II, and I have a pin on with both the American flag and the Marine Corps emblem I'm wearing in his honor today, really felt so strongly about his commitment to the Marine Corps and really recognized that November 10th was the birthday and recognized the commitment that the Marine Corps makes to the United States and continues to make, all those that served. He liked to say, once a Marine, always a Marine, and I know that's reflective of all those who served in all of the branches of the armed services. I want to thank Lynn Community Television for agreeing to help us put this ceremony today. Again, it's a little bit different, but it's just as important this year that we recognize veterans and that we don't forget how important Veterans Day is. Even though we're not coming together, it's important that we do this virtually, and this ceremony will recognize their commitment to our country. I want to ask that you enjoy the ceremony, but more importantly, that you thank those who you know, our neighbors, our friends, family members, for their service in the armed services, for their commitment to our country, and for being willing to stand up and ensure that our freedoms are protected every day. Enjoy the ceremony. Remember a veteran. We can never forget their service and sacrifice. Thank you for being part of this ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 24th Lynn English Marine Corps Junior ROTC birthday and Veterans Day ceremony. This is not the way we thought we would be celebrating this year, but the cadets have adjusted. Thanks to the mayor and the administration of the City of Lynn, we are able to present this ceremony by recording. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Company. Platoon sergeant, report. Alpha platoon, all cadets present and accounted for. Bravo platoon, all cadets present and accounted for. All right, CO, the company is formed.
Sergeant Clark, the company is formed.
I walked across the county courthouse square. On a park bench, I saw an old man, and he was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse kind of run down." He said, "Nah, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole, it's lean a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." And I sat down. He said, "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "Well, we don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a hole in that flag over there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And you know we got burned the night that Francis Scott Key sat watching her writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' She got a big rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at her seams, and she almost fell at the Alamo. Signed that Texas flag, but they waved on no. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. And that south wind, she blew hard on our ragged old flag. On Flinders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from the Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II, and she hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea, Vietnam, and now Afghanistan. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved on our ships upon the briny foam, and now you know, they've almost done quit waving back here at home. In her own good land here, she has been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused, and the government for which she stands is sometimes scandalized throughout the land. She's been getting threadbare, and she's wearing thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in, 'cause she's been through the fire before, and I believe that she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, we lower her down slow every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up just right. You know, on second thought, I do like to brag, 'cause I know we're all mighty proud of our ragged old flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United States of America, our Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, state us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The history of Veterans Day. We celebrate Veterans Day every year, but how many of us actually know where the holiday came from? Most people know that Veterans Day is a day to honor Americans who served and sacrificed for our country. But there is more to the story than many of you realize. To help you celebrate this holiday more deeply, here are some things you may not already know about Veterans Day. On June 28, 1919, World War I had officially ended with the Treaty of Versailles in the Palace of Versailles in France. However, the fighting continued for an additional 7 months and finally ended with an armistice or peace agreement between Allied nations and Germany on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, or November 11th. The day has was commemorated the following year on November 11th as Armistice Day, and was intended to dedicate a day to remind nations to seek peaceful relationships in the hope that we would never again be divided. Unfortunately, we all know that this is not the case. By 1954, our country survived 2 more major wars, World War II and Korea. American effort during World War II, from 1941 to 1945, saw the greatest mobilization of the U.S. Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force in our nation's history. More than 16 million people, some 57 million more, served in the Korean War. At the urging of service organizations, the 83rd Congress decided to reinstate Armistice Day. They reinstated it as Veterans Day. To honor veterans of all wars, President Eisenhower signed legislation on June 1st, 1954. Veterans Day hasn't always been celebrated on November 11th. In 1968, the Uniforms Holiday Bill ensured 3-day weekends for federal employees by celebrating 4 national holidays on Mondays: Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and Columbus Day. This bill assigned the 4th Monday of October as Veterans Day, despite the disapproval of many states who chose to continue to celebrate the holiday on its original day. President Gerald R. Ford recognized the significance of the actual date of Veterans Day and that it carried historical and patriotic value for Americans and for American veterans, and that they deserve to be honored. So in 1978, he signed a new law returning Veterans Day to its home on November 11th. By holding true to the date, Americans are able to focus on the importance of Veterans Day, which is to honor and celebrate veterans for their patriotism, passion for their country, and selflessness in serving for the common good. Let us honor and celebrate our veterans.
Ladies and gentlemen, as United States Marine, obviously I take the greatest pride in my service, and you all know my hymn, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. But we have the greatest respect for all of those who have served, and on this Marine Corps birthday, we also pay tribute to our veterans with a Veterans Day tribute and celebration. If you serve in the United States Army, your hymn, Caissons Go Rolling Along. They changed the word just a little bit, now called Army First to Fight, but the tune Caissons still the same. If you served in the iconic United States Navy, your hymn has always been Anchors Away. If you served in the United States Air Force or Army Air Corps a long time ago, you're him, Wild Blue yonder. Now, in addition, there's a group of men and women who not only guard our shores, but they're deployed to combat venues all over the world. They're him, Semper Paratus. I'm talking about the Coast Guard. And finally, there is a group that was long forgotten until an act of Congress in 1988 ordered that they will also be recognized as veterans. You see, they were pressed into service to take our boys overseas. Supplies, boots, bullets, bandages, and many times they were sunk by enemy submarines right off the coast of the United States. I'm talking about the Merchant Marines. And they have a hymn also. It's called Heave Ho, My Lads, Heave Ho. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would respectfully request, if you have served, had a family member who has served, been married to a serviceman or servicewoman, do me a favor. Even though you're at home today, I can still see you. When I sing your hymn, I want you to put your paw in the air so I can properly recognize you. The order of military hymns today is going to be Merchant Marines, the Coast Guard, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and then the United States Marine Corps. Here we go. Where are my Merchant Marines? Merchant Marine, outstanding. Heave ho, my lads, heave ho. It's a long, long way to go. It's a long, with the hatches full, braving the wind, braving the sea, but in a treacherous foam. Heave ho, my lads, heave ho. Though the seas blow high and low, we can cross any ocean, sail any river. Give us those goods and we'll deliver the submarines. We're the men of the Merchant Marines. Where's my Coast Guardsman? Outstanding. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in thee. To surf and storm and howling gale, I shall a purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame and glory to fight, to save and fight, to die. I Coast Guard, we are for you. Where's my army? Outstanding. Others to fight for the right and to build a nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fight until the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. But it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Call up your cadence and strong. Hey, oh, wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Navy! Outstanding. Anchors aweigh, my boys. Anchors aweigh. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam until we meet once more. Here's wish you a happy voyage home. Where's my Air Force? Outstanding. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Oh, down we dive, the sputter flames from under. Pattern up, give 'em the gun. Off we go, assuming to meet our thunder up in one hell of a row. We live in fame, or down in flame. It's up the U.S. Air Force. All right, Marines, get on your feet. From the hulls of Montezuma up to the shores of Tripoli, oh, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and the sea. Purpose to fight for right and freedom and to keep our honor clean. Oh, we are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. From our Merchant Marines to our Coast Guardsmen, our Army, our Navy, our Air Force, our United United States Marine Corps, and now our Space Force. We wish you Godspeed and stay safe.
As you know, we are also celebrating the 245th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. On November 21st, 1921, John A. Lejeune, 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, directed that a reminder of the honorable service of the United States Marine Corps be published by every command to all Marines throughout the globe on the birthday of the Corps. Since that day, men and women of our Corps have continued to distinguish themselves on many battlefields and foreign shores, in war and in peace. On this birthday of the Corps, therefore, in recognition of the will of the 13th Commandant, a reminder of the Corps' honorable service is published as follows. On November 10, 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by a resolution of the Continental Congress. Since that date, many thousands of men have borne the name Marine. In memory of them, it is fitting that we who are Marines should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind the glories of its long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of the most famous military organizations in the world's history. During the 90 of its 146 years of its existence, the Marine Corps has been in action against the nation's foes. From the Battle of Trenton to the Argonne, Marines have won foremost honors in war, and in the long era of tranquility at home, generation after generation of Marines have grown gray in war in both hemispheres, and in every corner of the 7 seas, so that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the greatest distinction, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue. This high name of distinction and soldierly repute, we who are Marines today have received from those who preceded us in the Corps. With it, we also receive from them the eternal spirit which has animated our Corps for generations, and as long as a distinguished mark of Marines in every age. So long as the spirit continues to flourish, Marines will be found equal to every emergency in the future as they have been in the past. And the men of our nation will regard us as worthy successors to the long line of illustrious men who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. This timeless message of our 13th Commandant has left its mark in the hearts and minds of all Marines, past and present. By deed and act, from Bellewood to the Argonne, from Guadalcanal to Iwo Jima, from Incheon to the Korean Armistice, from the hard fight in Vietnam to Desert Storm and Desert Shield, to this country's longest wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and in hundreds of other places where Marines have distinguished themselves, Marines have continued to epitomize those qualities which are in their legacy. The success which the men and women who have earned the title Marine have achieved in combat, and the faith they have borne in peace, will endure forever. The Commandant and our many friends have added their hearty praise and congratulations on this, our 245th birthday. It is customary at the Marine Corps birthday celebration to cut a traditional cake in celebration of the birth of our illustrious Corps. In this tradition, the first piece of cake is given to the guest of honor, the second to the oldest Marine present. Upon receiving the second piece of cake, the oldest Marine will in turn pass it on to the youngest. This signifies the passing of experience and knowledge from the old to the young of our Corps. Due to COVID-19, we will not be able to cut cake this year. However, Sergeant Major Oswald, the oldest Marine present, will pass 3 pre-cut pieces of cake to Cadet Jeremiah Pena, Cadet Edwin Ramos, and Cadet Julie Trinidad. All 3 have joined the United States Marine Corps and go to recruit training in June and July.
Tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today. Well, the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I'll know I'm free. And I won't forget the men that gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Here we go. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men that died, gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men that died, gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Ready? Forward, march.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude this ceremony today, I'd like to offer you a song that was written by the one and only Irving Berlin. It was written all the way back for World War I. That's why when you hear me sing "While the Storm Clouds Gather," this was written before the United States was engaged in World War I. However, this song was not unveiled until World War II, when Irving Berlin asked his best friend, Kate Smith, to make this famous and debut it. It is always my honor to perform God Bless America many times at the great Fenway Park at the 7th inning stretch. But today, as always, it gives me the greatest honor and pleasure to perform on the occasion of the United States Marine Corps birthday celebration and Veterans Day. Those of you at home, I know you know all the words. Please help me sing the one and only God Bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, a land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. Oh, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with hope. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like you to turn your attention to these wonderful young men and women who represent Lynn English High School, the City of Lynn, the Junior Marine Corps ROTC, and this fantastic program. I cannot reiterate enough how impressive these young men and women are, and I have great hope for the future of this nation. God bless each and every veteran out there. Happy birthday, Marines, and God bless America.